Yeah.
It's been cool that you've been showing stuff through Loudhailer. We came to see what's happening, basically.
Yeah. And who are you? What's your name?
I'm a PCSO of British Transport Police.
What's your name?
It's James.
Hi James, Danny. Nice to meet
Nice to meet you. Yeah, you're not in trouble. That's just you want to find out what's happening.
I'm talking on a Loudhailer.
Okay, can I ask what it's about?
If you stand and listen, you'll find out.
Absolutely. Okay, no problem at all. Whereas we patrol this line anyway, so we'll be about to listen to it. Okay.
Pleasure. Hello, how are you doing?
How are you?
Good.
You alright? Yeah.
I'm talking about lots, I talk about whatever comes into my mind, but today I'm talking about a trial for 24 to 27-year-olds users of cannabis to monitor how cannabis affects well-being and memory. Have you tried cannabis yourself? You've never tried it?
No.
Oh, you guys, you should. Go to Amsterdam, it's legal. Seriously, it really opens the mind.
So if you know anybody aged 16 to 17 or 24 to 27 that has a penis, that's all you need, and you could be involved in this trial on the effect of cannabis on psychological well-being. Now, many of you will never have tried cannabis. Most of you probably have tried it, but there will be some that haven't, and I'd like to know, if you've never tried cannabis, why not? Have you ever tried cannabis?
I have.
Yes? Have you ever taken cannabis, madam? Why not? What there?
Because I didn't wish to.
What do you mean you didn't wish to? How would you know if you've never taken it? That's like asking a virgin, have you ever had sex? And then so she says no, and I say why? She says, because I never wish to. But surely you should try it a couple of times before you make a decision. Don't knock it till you try it. Exactly.
How long is this trial for? How many days?
I don't know. It's only a couple of days. You interested?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hello, sir.
Hello.
You right?
I'm great. How are you?
We have had a call.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
Please don't interfere with what he's doing.
Oh, sorry, I'm just asking what's happening.
He's filming, and it's very important I get a record.
What are you filming, sir?
Well, filming what I'm doing here.
What are you doing?
I'm speaking on a megaphone.
About?
Well, if you hang around, you'll be able to hear, won't you?
No problem at all.
Good.
We've heard that it's about drugs.
Yep, that's right. Yeah.
What about drugs?
I'm speaking about cannabis
Yeah.
and about a trial that's happening in which they are looking at the use of the effect of cannabis on psychological well-being and memory.
Okay, so it's not about selling it or anything like that. It's just
Not at all, no.
Just all right, no worries.
Great.
Do you mind if I grab your details, or have you got an
No.
ID card or anything like that?
No, I don't give you guys my
You don't
details. I wouldn't give you guys my
Exactly,
details.
You just don't like police.
Well, it's not that I don't like police.
Yeah.
It's that I don't trust your organisation.
Okay.
You're not
Is there-
you
is there
know.
a reason for that, or?
Oh yeah, because obviously you are in bed with the government, and the government
Obviously we have to
are
uphold the laws and
yes,
things like that,
exactly.
don't we?
And who makes up those laws and why?
It's going to be the government, obviously,
Yes, that's right.
to protect the
So,
people
for
of the
example,
country.
well, that's what you're told the laws are there to do. But are they really there to do that? Do you really believe they are? Do you believe they are? All the laws are there to protect the people in the country?
I'm not going to offer an opinion on that, so I've got to do my job at the end of the day, haven't I?
Well, I don't know. What is your job?
Just to uphold the law of the country and the British people. Queen.
That's another interesting subject.
Mindless.
No, do you have a question? Do you have a question any of the laws that you have to uphold? No? Do you think that's a problem? Because I think to me, I've always found it very concerning that anybody does things that other people tell them without questioning. Don't you think that's a problem? What do you think? Hello, my name's Danny. What's your name?
Your name's what, sorry?
Danny. What's your name?
My name's Sadie.
Nice to meet you, Sadie. Do you think it's a problem? Do you think it's important to question what you're told to do?
It depends what we're told to do.
Whatever you're told to do, do you not think it's important to question it?
I do my job, and that's to uphold the law. That's what I do.
Right. And what if the laws conflict with your sense of morality, your ethics?
Well, they haven't so far, so...
Guys, can I ask you another question which is related to what I was talking about? But let's say I was in, let's say I was in America, in Oregon, right? And I was smoking cannabis in front of you. I presume you wouldn't see that as any more problematic than drinking beer in front of you, right? They're both drugs, right? But they were both.
One is legal in this country.
Yeah, I'm talking about not in this country. I'm not if it was in another country, right? So I presume, would you agree that you wouldn't have a problem with that, a moral problem with that? You wouldn't think I'm a bad person if I was doing that, right? Yeah. So if I did it here, in front of you right now, yeah, I presume that my status as a decent human being would not change, right?
No, but it
But-
makes it.
Yeah,
legal in this country
I'd be
because of
breaking
laws we
the
have.
law of this country, right? I mean, I would call it the statutes of this country, which I think is different. But you wouldn't see me as a bad person any more than you would if I did it there, because it's not a bad in and of itself. There's nothing wrong with it any more than anything wrong with taking alcohol, right?
But we don't arrest you because you're a bad person. We arrest
Yeah.
you because you're breaking the law.
Yeah, I understand.
We don't
But what
take
I'm
into
I get
account
that.
your moral
I get that,
being.
right? But what seems to me is when you do that, and this is why I'm saying questioning the morality of what you're doing. It seems to me that if I was to smoke, or I had it in my pocket, yeah, and you were to arrest me for it, who'd be doing the bad stuff? Who would be initiating violence? You or me?
I don't believe by arresting someone that we are initiating violence.
Do you not? You don't believe arrest is a form of violence? Do you know? Have you ever been arrested?
It's a use of force, I know that,
It's-
but I don't believe
you
it's
don't-
a use of violence. No.
Really? You wouldn't call arrest violence? Have you ever been arrested?
No, I haven't been arrested.
Do you know what it's like? I have. Do you know what it's
I've
like?
arrested someone.
Yeah, but that's different. Arresting someone is different than being arrested.
I'm accountable for my actions.
Yeah, no, I understand that. No, I'm not saying you're not, and I'm sure that you're careful when you arrest people, but I'm saying if you haven't experienced it, it's not the same. I can tell you from my experience, it is horrific. It is a horrible, horrible experience, right?
We don't do it lightly.
No, I'm not saying you do it lightly, but to suggest that arrest is not violence to me is I think if you speak to anybody that's been arrested, I would be really surprised if they don't describe that as a form of violence. It's extreme violence. It's kidnap. You're calling it arrest, but what it is taking someone's liberty away, putting them in the back of a van, right, locking them up against their will. That is violence. And if I had some cannabis in my pocket, which is basically just a naturally growing substance, you would also take it away from me, which to me is another form of violating me because it's theft. You're taking my stuff. So how can you justify initiating violence against me who's done nothing wrong?
The reason that you've got to think about the reason that you'll be getting arrested, we have to think about what we are arresting you for. We have to have a good reason for it. You have to have broken the law. We are then justified to arrest you. We are then justified to take away your liberty.
How can you possibly justify that just because somebody wrote some stuff somewhere, some legislation, someone wrote, how can that justify you initiating violence against someone who's peaceful, who's done nothing wrong?
I'm not talking about peaceful.
Yeah, I am. No, but if I right now, if I had cannabis in my, I know you're not, but if I had cannabis in my pocket and you knew it, right, you might arrest me.
We might,
Yeah.
If we
Right. So
if we cannot exhaust every other option, we can cannabis warn you. We can PMD.
Okay, even if
Those
I
are our
had,
two
okay,
options.
even if I had,
We
even
arrest
if I, okay, so I'll tell you what, let's make it even easier for you. If I had cocaine on me, right? I personally have never touched cocaine, but if I had cocaine on me, yeah, would you arrest me? Possibly? Yes, right? How can you possibly justify initiating violence against a peaceful man for having something on his person? How can you justify
you.
that?
Breaking the law.
I know, but that's just what does that mean? All that means is that somebody made up some rule, yeah, and I haven't kept to that rule. But how can that justify morally? How can that? In other words, I'll tell you what. If I was just about to hit that man over there, then to me you have full justification to hold me back and to take me away somewhere because you're defending me, and you're doing what I have a right to do. So in other words, if he was trying to hurt me, I can get you to help me, just like I can get anybody to help me to stop him hurting me. And I know that the majority of your work is exactly that, right? And that's probably why you joined the force, I assume, right? But if I am not doing anything, if I am just walking along or whatever, I have something in my pocket, or even if I was selling it, but I will leave that out because that was probably a little bit more for you to get your head around. But if I was to have any substance in my pocket, how can you morally justify, how can it be right? How can you have the right to steal that stuff from me? This is my body. I can put whatever I like in my body. It's nobody's business what I put in my body. Just like I don't interfere with what you put in your body, and maybe you put stuff in your body that's not good for you. Probably all of us do, right? What moral right have you got to act violently against me just because some nutcase in some parliament or some crazy lawyer, right? And I live with lawyers, I know how their minds work. How can that justify you violating my space, and you stealing my stuff, and you locking me in the back of a van? How can you do that? I don't understand where you get the moral right to do that.
I don't believe it is a moral right, it's just our jobs.
Right.
We're upholding the laws.
Where does morality come into this, though? Where does ethics come into this? Where does doing the right and the wrong thing come into this?
That is the right thing.
To you, it's the right thing.
Yes.
To initiate violence against.
To arrest someone for possession of a drug, yes.
What? How can that be
Drugs
right?
do serious damage.
So does alcohol do serious damage to
Yes, it
people?
does. Yeah, and we have to deal with those people on the streets as well.
I know.
Every day.
I know. I understand that. But drugs also do lots of other things to people. Drugs also open up people's minds. So, you know, just because drugs do damage to people, sugar does terrible damage to people. Yeah? But you wouldn't have the right to arrest someone for having sugar on them, even though it does damage to people. Anyway, thank you for engaging with me. I appreciate it.
Danny, yes?
Yeah.
Hope you have
Nice to meet you.
Great rest of your day.
Thank you, Benjamin.
Yeah. My name is right there on the show.
All right.